who he is. So you're coming, right? Where are we going? Shopping?
Come on.
I don't have any money.
We get a 5-finger discount.
All my friends are dead and they don't like me anymore. They've moved along, they've changed, and now they find me quite a bore. Way back then it was okay to be a little weird, but all my friends are dead. Hello, warlocks and wizards. Nope, that's just boys. Hello, witches and warlocks, to another episode of 10minutedailyvideo.net, your place for 10minutedailyvideo.net, with the Patronus charm affiliated with the philosophers .net. What? I'm your host, Melt Content. Hi, this is another Harry Potter rant. And the last one did pretty well. Not as well as discussing who's the top and bottom in a cartoon, apparently. But, you know, pretty good. There's some great comments that I want to talk about later in a different video, just addressing comments across all my videos. I want to talk about Harry Potter some more because I really want to explain more of the world building and some more of my very controversial changes. It will be building on the first rant, so if you haven't watched that yet, I think with a very little amount of effort, we could save it from the clutches of mediocrity. My most controversial change, of all the controversial changes I would make to the Harry Potter series, you are initially gonna hate. Okay, you are not gonna like this change until I explain it. So it'll sound crazy at first, but it'll get better as we discuss it. And that idea is that Harry and Hermione should be shipped. Now, I want to say that this Harry Potter Hermione reveal, I'm telling you at the beginning to shock you, to make you upset, to make you put a comment in this in the comment doobly-doo area. These are tactics that I'm using, okay, to further my own internet career. So I very much invite you to be upset and say the first thing that comes to your mind at this point. But you could also, this is as long as you're going to engage, you could also wait until the end and where I explain why this makes sense. The reason this makes sense is I'm fundamentally changing the houses and I'm making Neville Longbottom incredibly important. Like way more important than I was like letting on in the last video. The last Harry Potter video, I mentioned him a little bit, but you'll see why this is a big reveal later, and we'll talk in more detail in future videos. I want to keep these pithy after all. So let's look at the houses, okay? I made some graphics. This is how the houses are generally laid out in most like tableaus that you can buy. Most media will lay them out in this order, or if it's not in this kind of boxy situation, like this four-corner kind of thing, they'll often be laid out like in a row, but it'll always be Gryffindor first, Slytherin second, and then usually Hufflepuff, and then Ravenclaw, or Ravenclaw, then Hufflepuff. It doesn't matter because those two in the books, in my opinion, they're complete afterthoughts, right? They're not that important. So for this to make sense, for the houses to make more sense, we have to like de-emphasize the top two houses, okay? We have to stop assuming that the good guys are Gryffindors and the bad guys are Slytherins, because everybody's going to come from everywhere. One of the things I want the kids to discover in the books, maybe in the middle of the books, probably to replace that goddamn time turner, is for them to investigate the progenitors, the originators of the Hogwarts school. And I have this idea that they wanted the Sorting Hat to put them in houses to make them to make future children possibly meet each other in the same way that they did and form better bonds while having a safe area of like-minded individuals that they could always talk to. By the time Harry Potter gets to Hogwarts, the houses are not encouraged to be connecting together, but are encouraged to be insular. Their competition's much more fierce. Maybe that points thing, points to Gryffindor, points to Slytherin. Maybe that's a newer concept. And the kids realize that this is supposed to be. And the guys, I want the kids to realize by becoming friends with each other, even though they're in different houses, or becoming friends with each other at first, and then getting sorted into their houses, but remaining friends anyway, right? One of these things, I'm not quite sure. And then, so let's, you see what I'm saying, right? Like, we need these houses to matter more. So if the houses matter more, I want it to look like this. This is more what I want to see from my magical, Mars-Briggs test. I have arranged the houses in a way that they Venn diagram each other so that we can see their similarities with each other and then their stark differences. I do want there to be stark differences, and I do want there to be similarities. It doesn't make sense to make a whole school of people who are completely diametrically opposed to each other. So I posit that the Gryffindors have something in common with Slytherin and Hufflepuff. The Slytherins have something in common, of course, with Gryffindor and Ravenclaw. And then Ravenclaw has something to do with Hufflepuff and Gryffindor. Ravenclaw and then Gryffindor, Hufflepuff. You see it. The similarities in the Venn diagram, I don't necessarily know all of the specifics, but let's say in Slytherin, some of the ambition is shared with Gryffindor, or some of the self-sacrifice and protecting others is in Gryffindor, but also Hufflepuff. These sorts of things, right? And again, I want to emphasize that Slytherin isn't going to be the house of bad guys anymore. This is the house where we put, like, Han Solo, Raphael from the Ninja Turtles, okay? Quark from Deep Space Nine. Characters who have a heart of gold, but maybe they do some shifty things here and there. Everyone else, I think you can figure out where generally characters might go. So if you can imagine other fictional characters in these houses, I think that helps a little bit. But more to the point, we would be changing the characters a little bit. Now, I did get a good comment that said maybe Harry is in Slytherin, right? And Ron is in Gryffindor. Now, there's some argument for that. I think the Weasley family fits better in a Slytherin Hufflepuff house. I've been thinking a little bit about the Weasley house, and I want to say the mom might be a Hufflepuff and the dad might be a Slytherin, and then the kids being raised in that sort of environment are a little bit of both. And there wouldn't be anything weird about that because they're just, that's their personality arcs, right? Why does Ron have to be in Slytherin? Well, because Longbottom is in Hufflepuff, and I'm still making Voldemort or Tom Riddle, he's still going to be a Slytherin. I still want there to be bad guys in Slytherin. I want there to be bad guys kind of from all the houses, but I definitely want a bad guy from Slytherin. There might be an argument that maybe Voldemort should be a Gryffindor. He is a leader. He could be a villainous leader, and Harry's a leader in the, but I'm making Longbottom more important. I'm making Longbottom the actual chosen one. Yeah, this one's got a lot of controversial takes. Harry and Neville Longbottom in the movies and in the books have very similar prophecies. And in my mind, the wizards, like the higher up wizards, use this to their advantage to fake maybe part of Harry Potter's backstory or lie about part of Longbottom's backstory, one or either, where it seems like either could be the chosen one, and maybe Voldemort stalks each of them separately for different reasons, trying to figure out which of them is the actual chosen one. And maybe there's a bit of a shell game with the good guys, and it turns out Harry is just a decoy. Maybe even he gets killed. This might be a good time to call this not Harry. I wouldn't name this series Harry Potter. There's a lot in this episode, and I hope it's not too rambly, but you see why I'm de-emphasizing Harry Potter and I'm emphasizing a group dynamic. That might be because I'm a socialist. Why does Harry have to get with Hermione, you're asking? Well, okay, listen, here's where I'm at. First off, if I'm thinking about killing Harry, that'd be great pathos for Hermione. More to the fact, if you look at my Venn diagram, the Gryffindors are diametrically opposed to the Ravenclaws. The Slytherin are diametrically opposed to the Hufflepuff. I like this a lot, and I would emphasize this a ton. Tom Riddle, he's in Slytherin. Longbottom, he's in Hufflepuff. They're a hatred opposition. I want there to be a loving opposition. I want Harry and Hermione, even though they're opposites on this wheel, to fall madly in love with each other for reasons that are evident for whatever reason. It doesn't matter. They're both very lovable characters. Fine. Having that dichotomy is crucial to the opposite hate. And I really like that kind of dynamic. Especially if you're gonna have these stupid houses that are based on personalities. Because then you can show kids or young adults or whoever this is going to be for, you can show them, you know, that it doesn't have to be diametrically opposed hatred, good versus evil type thing. It could be more complicated than that. And I think more complicated is what kids are going to find out eventually in life anyway. Thanks for watching. I hope this didn't make you too upset that Harry eventually will snog Hermione. Like and subscribe. Do the things in the description. And, yeah. I'm going to go watch some Arcane now, I guess.